would be me. Hello. Good, that's the right microphone. Hi, everybody. Hello, good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, depending on what time it is for you, where you are. I'm falling asleep. That's a good start. How you doing? How warm is it? It's hide in a cocoon warm. Okay. Hello. Is it safe to come back? Still thinking. Oh, think I'm still crouching to loot a dungeon boss from last night. Has it been laggy? I didn't play yesterday. Or the day before. Well, I mean, I didn't play WoW. I played Satisfactory. The factory must feed. Alright. Braving your way to time walking. I only have time for a short stream today. Oh yeah, look, it's all the shopping I was doing. I forgot about that. I only have time for a short stream today, so I figure if I can get my time walking queues done for the week, then that would be a lovely thing to check off the list so I don't forget. Speaking of forgetting, don't mind me using my own command. I want to check on how long drops are active for. Until February 4th. Okay, we got lots of time on that. That's good, because I still need to get mine. I need to turn on someone else's stream while I'm working or something. Well, working. Heaps of bugs this week. Oh. Yeah, maybe a good couple of days off to not be logged in then, my goodness. We'll try time walking, and if that's no good, then we'll try something else. But I'm only on until 10:30, so like an hour and a half, because I am gonna turn it off for raid testing, but this should be the last time. This is the last raid testing day as far as I know, unless they, break that too. Game was super broken, couldn't even loot targets. Well, it's a new game. It just came out. You gotta give devs a little bit of grace on this kind of thing. Oh boy. Music, a little game sound maybe? I don't hear anything. Let's go into this. There we go. That's a little better. Yeah, today is Wednesday. This is the rescheduled day. Wednesday the 22nd. It's the rescheduled testing day from last week. It is weird that it's not a Thursday or a Friday, but that is what the post said. I haven't looked at this morning yet, though. Yeah. Time walking. Legion time walking. Whoop-de-doodle-doo. Let's queue up for that bad boy. I had a weird dream about Time Warp badges, but it can't have possibly have been very important or interesting. You can fly in the Siren Isle with the ring upgrade this week? Oh, okay. I had a 1 hour maintenance window this morning. Maybe that was to fix things. Working fine after maintenance. Well, that's good. I hope that's true, because if that's the case, then they fixed it just in time for me. Oh boy, it's gonna be a long day. It's gonna be a nice big long day. 2004 wasn't that long ago, right? That's what I've been saying. I remember writing that on my homework. Mind you, I was 12. Kitty, do you want to come sit on my lap? I could still pass for 16, right guys? Wanna come up here? Leveling Tune had no problem looting. Time walking needed those upgrades. Nice. Oh. I couldn't even accept it before someone... Alright, in we go. Heal the time walking dungeon. I'm not wildly... I'm keeping up with Turbulent Timeways. I think that's my level of investment with it. I'm getting my buff every week so that... Ooh, that's a cool set. I like that. Dwarf. I'm getting my buff every week so that I can get the B at the end of 5 weeks, but beyond doing my 4, I'm not too fussed about it. I think I had a dream that there were more pets I could buy with Time Warp badges, but that there was a deadline, but it was a dream, so it wasn't real, so I don't need to worry about it. Yeah, you're right. If the game wasn't fixed by now, I would have been just a terror to behold. Only have to do one if you save the buff every week. My understanding is that was last Turbulent Timeways. If that has been working for this particular event, then that's great, and I should probably get on top of that. But I think you do have to do your 4 per week now. I think they fixed that. I would like to go across the boat. Love your hair? Oh, I thank you. You want to know something on the mildest level of embarrassment? It's not even embarrassing. I think I'm quite clever. I read somewhere, I decided I wanted to try doing a more regular scalp massage. you know, just for general scalp health and self-care. And I was kind of looking around at like scalp massaging, like brushes and tools. You can get like silicone things that you can use to like massage your hair while you're like showering or shampooing or whatever. And I was looking at those and I was like, you know what these look like? These look like my dog's Zoom Groom. I have like a Kong silicone brush that's basically the exact same thing but for my dog. And I looked at it and I went, and he's not using it right now because he only gets a bath when he gets really dirty. So I just chucked it in the shower. Exactly. I've been using the dog's brush. It seems to be working great. Hair's still in the head. Scalp feels good. Can't complain. I don't know how I would tell if my scalp massages are working or not. It is Legion time walking. That is true. Raid testing of the kids' short school day will be interesting. Last week I had canceled my yoga morning so that I didn't have to do a raid testing day and an early yoga practice because I figured I would fall asleep. And today I didn't worry about it, so I went to yoga this morning. So I don't know, maybe I'll get a smoothie with an energy boost in it. My partner pranked me with one of those once. We got like booster juice, and we each got smoothies and we had them and they were great. He ordered them, and after we were hanging out and we were talking about, we were just hanging out, and I was like, it's weird. I don't really know why. I'm feeling kind of like anxious, like a little wound up. And he's like, honey, I have a secret. I'm like, what? When I ordered your smoothie, I added the energy boost. So it had like a caffeine kick in it. It wasn't like late at night or anything like that. It was totally fine, but I didn't know at the time that it had this caffeine in it. Like, oh, that would be why. So maybe today's going to be a good day to do that, but on purpose. Fixed bugs, no more DC. Huge. What the heck? You see a kitty? Oh, I won't be able to see much of the kitty cat. Also, I should probably get out of the fire. Yeah, it's just time walking. That's don't love that. I'm so tired I've already forgotten what it is that I just said. I remember the dog brush thing. Oh, the caffeine, the energy boost. Yeah. And that or I'll make like a protein shake and then do some jumping jacks or something. I'm the Mage New Time Walking group. Oh, hello. I will do my best not to let you die. Oh, putting things in food. Oh, I think it was an accident. Or maybe he got them for both of us. We don't do it anymore. We laughed about it. It was funny. I don't think he was like trying to secretly wake me up or anything like that. Oh, okay. This one, and then this one. And then this one. I've been trying to go for like walks in the evening when it's dark out to kind of like help wind down and get sleepy before bed. It's kind of like a sleep hygiene effort sort of thing. But the problem is that at nighttime before we're bed, it's cold out there. It's freezing. And it's probably a lot colder where a lot of you are, but I'm a baby. -2. It is. I'm real chilly. Also, my gloves have been chewed on by a puppy and also many years of life, and they were cheap to begin with, so I need to probably replace them because they're not really doing it anymore. 8 Fahrenheit this morning. I have a feeling that we're not doing this in the correctest possible way. But I don't really remember what else we would do. It seems to be going fine now. I don't really remember. Oh, we did this as a key not that long ago. But that brain shelf has been cleared. -15 Celsius in the DC burbs this morning. People getting their hummingbird heaters out if they have such a thing. I should probably bring my hummingbird syrup in at night so that it has a while in the morning before it freezes, because I'm sure it's freezing overnight. I want to resurrect. Midwife walked on. My partner, so sweet. This morning I got up to go to yoga, right? And I'm leaving at like you know, 5:36 in the morning, and it was freezing, so I knew I'd have to scrape some ice off my car. And he gets up with me at 5:30, and while I'm getting ready, he goes and he like de-ices my car for me so that it was ready when I got out to go. He didn't even have to get up that early. All I remember is the trees are the main villain of this one. It snowed in Florida. Oh, right. Also, I need to get a real ice scraper. I have like a little squeegee that I think I originally bought to help lay contact paper during my very short-lived DIY furniture phase. I have just like a rubber squeegee, and then after I grew out of that phase, I realized it worked really good for wiping water off of my car windows to get like the dew off of it so I could leave. And it kind of sort of works for very light amounts of ice, but I should probably just suck it up and go to Canadian Tire and get like a real ice scraper, because I think that my fantasy world that I was living in, where I was like, I'm never gonna need to do this. If it's icy out, I just won't go anywhere. Maybe not happening. I had this big plan where I was gonna take the bus in the winter, and I think I still would if it like snows, or if there's black ice and stuff. But my goodness, it is very far away. Okay. Problem with taking the bus when it's really cold out is then you have to wait for the bus in the cold. And that's fine going out there, but it sucks coming back when your clothes are wet from yoga. Got the ice remover spray stuff because I can't be an artist. Does it work good? No bewitching. Oh, moderate bewitching. Ice remover save for windows and locks. But yeah, I don't think it's going to be a long-term thing. I mean, I guess if I move, if I move somewhere snowier, then this is going to be a bigger problem in my life. Figure it out. I was looking at places again, and I think I'm right back around to... Every time I think I almost know what I want, and I'm like, okay, I've narrowed it down to this category and this area and this price range, and then something in the universe or somebody I'm speaking to will say something, and then I'll just be back to the drawing board, and I'll have to do it all over again. A number of times growing up, we had to drive to school while holding a door in winter. I have not refined my weighted Excel sheet. No, I should do so. It's just tough to allocate stat waste to stuff. Also, I need to get out and like hang out in some of these areas and, I don't know, walk around them at different times of days or nights to find out how, I don't know, sketchy they actually are, because there's the unfortunate fact that anything that I can afford that's going to have very much living space is in a bit of a open question mark of an area. And I mean, I live in Victoria, so it's not like I've never seen public disorder before, but I would prefer to, if possible, not be living on top of it. It's spoiled me, but what are you gonna do? How does one weigh down an Excel sheet? Listen, so you're gonna take your laptop, and you're gonna take a big bag of fruit, like apples. But no, I was in my house hunt. I was trying to come up with a way to rate properties according to their attractiveness to me by coming up with all of my different nice-to-have criteria, things like, you know, certain aspects of the location, distance from grocery stores, number of bedrooms and bathrooms, amount of outdoor space, amount of natural light, direction faced, all that kind of stuff. And I was trying to like come up with like a numeric value to tie to each factor so that I could go through each listing and calculate a score for each property and then rank them against each other. Kitty purring. Are you glad it's finally warm? It was cold in this apartment when I got up this morning. I didn't run the heat overnight, and it was... Got lad for you. Hello, Rachel. Welcome. We're just doing a couple of cozy dungeons. Short stream this morning. I really want to get back into Molten Core of all places. We were making a job out of grinding Molten Core Mog. Oh yeah, and I was going to shop for more of it too. I was going to keep shopping across servers for more of the BOEs. They cut me off from making alts last time. Listen, guys, what if I broke the servers? I made too many ults too quickly while trying to purchase crafted molten core appearances across realms. And when they cut me off, they just broke everything. Windwalker monks are getting slicing winds from Plunderstorm next patch. Whoa. That's my favorite utility in Plunderstorm. Some of the profession recipes in Molten Core definitely do not soulbind. Some of them might. I wasn't really going to craft any of it, though. I thought about crafting it, and then I looked on Endermine Exchange, and I was like, listen, if I can spend like 500 to 800 gold on some random server for this, I think I'm going to do that. Just get it out of the way, nice and easy. Okay, a dark vest. I would love this game if I had all day to play and if it wasn't to do with a dungeon. Is there anybody else? There's more clues if you go find the clues. I just don't know what the clues are. I could try people at random. Oh, you got it. You got it. Oracle eye looks good in a night point. Yeah, it sits like kind of actually above her head and not as low down. Although it looks like the eye thing, the bits that are supposed to cover her eyes are really illuminating the tips of her ears. I don't think it's actually seated right. Although if that's an improvement, I don't know what that says about the oracle eyes. I'm on my way. Is Oracle maybe? I like it for dungeons. I cannot be fussed with it in raids. And I pretty much use the spells for the same spells. Like the red one that lets you multicast, I pretty much always use that just to chuck out a ton of prayer of mending on the group. Because that's my best idea. I don't know what you're supposed to do with it, but that's usually what I do. The blue one I always use on the blue button on like a tank or somebody who's in an emergency. And then the other one I just send whenever if there's any healing to be done. Good thing to put in a quest. Maybe the most perfect objective ever engineered to not belong in a Mythic Plus dungeon. Is over here? Is not Mythic, so maybe that's why. We can't just, can we just, oh, it's locked, okay. That's the one. We have a nice weekend, Kitty. What did we get up to? I just had my Hazel weekend. I know it's Wednesday, but Monday, Tuesday were my days off. I had a visit with my mom.
Excellent. Now that we have the key, the way to the balcony should be open.
My partner went fishing and I stayed home because it was 2 degrees and I did not want to go fishing in 2-degree weather. I played a bunch of Satisfactory over the weekend. I think that's what I did. I love and hate. I love the game and I hate myself, I think is where I'm at with Satisfactory right now. It's if you've never seen it, I think it was Game of the Year one of these recent years. They finally finished the darn thing, or at least put out the 1.0 patch. It's like a factory automation game. It's, you know, crafting and factory automation. And it's just showing me all of the flaws in my character. I'll have a problem in my factory. And instead of, you know, making a plan, thinking about it, maybe making some notes and coming up with like a clean way to deal with it, I have this really bad habit of solving my problems with more problems. You know, coming up with the sloppiest stopgap solutions that I could possibly just paste on top of or like cannibalize from somewhere else. I do a lot of cannibalizing. And then later on, when I'm tripping breakers and like my factory is not working very well, I can't even think of where to start fixing it because I made such an ungodly mess. It's really teaching me about myself. Was it a satisfactory experience? Developers even served it up for me. I was ready. The name of the game being Satisfactory has really made me put serious thought into whether or not it's a real word, and I think it is a real word, but I just want it to be satisfying instead if it's not about factories. I also started a factory world with Flabby, which is a lot of fun because he actually likes exploring and fighting the mobs. So he'll go do that and he'll find all kinds of stuff to research that I've never seen before in my life. And he's like, what's this for? And I go, I don't know. I've never played Factorio, no. It might be several years before I'm finished with Satisfactory, though. That's when you build a new factory at a new site that incorporates all the refinements you learned about. I'm already on my second factory on the one map, and I've kind of like run lines and pipes to cannibalize the water and the power from my first factory, but my first factory is also still producing things. I built a hypertube between them so I can go pick stuff up, but it's like, it's really not great. I also, my problem is that I don't do any math, and I need to start doing some math because like, I don't really have a strong grasp on how much production I need to fuel a certain amount of thing. Like, the machines show you the ratios very well, and I have overclocking, so I can kind of adjust it. They'll say you need, 30 iron ingots a minute, and it's gonna spit out 20 rods, and then you'll see that you need like 7 of them for screws or whatever it is. And you can, if I just took out a pen and paper, I could probably lay out a rough sketch. Also, my factory is just a real hazard to walk on. There's a lot of falling off of it going on. Because I want to build up, and I have ladders, but I keep expanding my foundations. So what used to be the outside wall of the factory is now like a random inside wall with a hole in the floor. It's just not satisfying. But it's not the game's fault, it's my fault. Also, from scanning through forums and stuff, it seems like this is a very universal experience. I'm not the only person who has played Satisfactory like this. And that the really pretty ones that you see online are like the 0.1% of factories. Most people just make a mess like me. Build a nice factory facility, an actual level constructed floor. Well, I thought my level constructed floor was going to be nice, but I didn't leave myself any room to walk around it. I guess that's what I'm going to do next time. And the thing is, I'm just guessing how much room I need, and I keep sprawling them out wider. So I end up with like 2 or 3 floors that are like not the same size. I guess what I could do next time is I could build a really big facility. Maybe I would need to figure out how big it should be first. But like build out the facility before I ever load a machine into it. So that I can put ports for belts and... Because usually by the time my conveyor belts get up to my assembler stage, they're all spaghetti again. Like I'll have one lifting each part up to an assembler floor, and that's all fine and good, but like they're all uneven and stuff. Feature creep. First hand is self-inflicted. Yeah, apparently there's all kinds of fun development words for the mess that I'm making. Yeah. You're right. And I'm sure it's not going to be my only factor. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to just power through until I unlock more stuff, because I understand that later on I may want to make a new factory anyways to make newer things with newer mats. So I'm trying to just make the one I have work. But it's hard. It's hard. It's not working very good. It's kind of sort of working okay. It makes my computer fan spin up so much, though, that every time I'm using it or playing the game, I feel like I'm investing my real-life power grid, which I am, because I'm running the computer, to make the imaginary screws and stuff. This is dungeon number 2. Okay. I don't know why I thought I would have been on 3 by now. More immersive for PC also sounds like it's got to have 80,000 steel beams on its boss's desk by 3 p.m. My power grids are upsetting to everybody. I'm not always real clear on how things connect in, and I start out with a nice plan, and then I just end up with like, where's an open port? How do I add another pole onto this? This cable doesn't look like it's going anywhere important. Burp. We can just get rid of that. Big mess. Big mess. But I'm having a lot of fun, which is why I'm talking about it so much. I'm really into it. Oh, I'm still playing sitting on the floor in front of my coffee table though, because it's hard not to, because it's just nicer to hang out there, and I want to kind of try to keep this room for like content stuff. But it is a little tough on the back. But sometimes I get to lean back and my dog sits on the couch while I sit on the floor, and then he's really warm and he starts to sleep, and then he kicks out his paws because he's dreaming. But if he's kicking them into my back, it's kind of like a deep tissue massage. You know, it's like a pup-sage, but coming this way. I do not have an 11 Fury Warrior tank. Oh, in the group I'm in. No, that's a level 80 Warrior. Are they Fury? No, they're Protection. All above board here. Plan was to get 32 gigs of memory for my desktop for Christmas. Ended up with 64. My computer's looking at me saying, but why though? That's for the future.
You hold no sway over this realm, Nightmare Lord. Bold words for a prison.
I love RAM because it makes rendering and previewing animation and different scenes in After Effects really nice. It's very hard to do that if you don't have very much RAM. So I like having good chunk of nice fast RAM. Oh, braid testing goes good today. I didn't intend to become a video editor, but I guess it's my destiny now. Listen, you build it and the hobbies will come. You get a fishing shirt, and before you know it, you're going to be out at the lake at 6 in the morning reeling in some trout. Is there any mog I can get in here? 2 pieces, actually. Oh, but they're not for me, so no. They're not going to drop for a priest. I guess it makes sense. I've done this dungeon a million times. Picked up 3D printing, and I am skilled at it now. I wonder what the most likely use case I would personally have for a 3D printer. Obviously nothing, because I don't have one, I don't need one, but like, if I did need one in a weird future, what would it probably be for? The main thing that comes to mind would be 3D printing fish nests, like little like huts and caves and whatnot that are of a good size for like maybe a pair of, you know, mating epistogrammas or something. There's tons of WoW models. Yeah, but like, what's that for? I have those in the game. I don't need those on the shelf. I have plushies. I'm all set. I want something that a pair of upstanding fish can raise a family. My son 3D printed an ocarina last night and it works. That's cool. I've never had epistogrammas, but they look fun. Epistogramma cockatoides. I had an aquarium YouTube face. Not making them, but watching them. I should power infusion someone for the first time in my life. Whoa.
You cannot defeat God.
Very good.
Well-earned victory.
Where does this turn in? Dalaran? That's nice. That's a lot closer than
Deep inside the nightmare.
a lot closer than the Timeless Isle, and it's so nice being able to get into these nice and fast. The first week when I tried to take my hunter was such a struggle. I genuinely think those keys were broken. They were not working correctly. There's dungeon 2, and we're only half an hour in. I can totally get 4 done today. I might even have a little extra time. Currently painting a Zez Studio Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Michelangelo. It's looking awesome. Nice. That sounds like fun. We're gonna vendor some stuff somewhere. I have to remember to vendor the time walking loot that I'm getting so I don't try to disenchant it. Over this way. Nice tank who jumped down the vault of the warden's elevator, died twice, and instantly released. Sometimes the instant release, not saying this is what they're doing, but for me, it's like just a reflex. Like I didn't even mean to. I just reflexively see the button and I just hit it. Like the faster I hit it, the faster I can pretend none of it happened. I have not been disconnected at all this morning. I have been stably connected this morning so far. So if I can get myself 5,000 badges, Urzel, yeah, I would like that. I mean, would like is kind of a strong word for something that looks like it's been boiled in a crab pot, but it should be good.
Hurry, friends. Every moment we render, Darkwood kills more of our allies.
Cool mount, especially since I don't have the Antorus one. I am also in that boat. I also do not have the Antorus one. That's why they make the anti-release weak cards. The worst is during raid testing, or even just raiding, when there, you know, like a healer has a soul stone or something, and they're gonna res, and it's a really long run back. Or a battle res. The worst is if there's no warlock, because like, if there's a warlock in the group and you panic release and you're running back, they can at least summon you. It's annoying. But it's like fixable. If there's no warlock in the group and the healer had to just get like regular battle res in order to res everybody and you release, then everybody's waiting around for you anyway. And I hate it because it's usually me and it's very embarrassing. Go to IKEA for your closets. Although I do love it when other people do it because then it's like a free break. Like I'll get up. I'll be like, oh hey, well so-and-so is going to be back in about 3 minutes. I'm going to stretch my legs and pet my dog. See you in a bit. I'll keep my headphones on, but I think there was a DDoS last night. Who wants one of these? Here's a shaman habit. Take a nice little power infusion. Believe in your dreams. People are testing Mythic this week. That's a lot of testing. Yep. Yeah, it's a big schedule. The triple boss in a day is a lot. I used to prefer when they would do 3 days of raid testing, but only 2 bosses in a day. And do them like 1 to 3. Like, that was always fine. Mythic has 4! No! I mean, I'm sure they'll get the data that they're looking for, but I know that when my group was testing heroic bosses last week and we had the 3 block, by the 3rd boss, at least in the group I was running in, I don't think anybody was really playing or thinking their best, and because of that we weren't phasing the fight or seeing the second phase because we were just kind of making the same mistakes or the same like pull plan over again, and no one really had like the juju left to like fix it, and everybody was just so tired from having been there all this time, and like basically like progression rating on fights that you don't know is it's fun and it's interesting, but it's a lot of like brain. It makes me tired anyway. Maybe Mythic Raiders have more natural stamina. APSQ for 12 minutes, but now the average time says 5 minutes. Which is it, game? Come on. I was almost late for stream this morning because I have an analog clock in the wall of my living room, and I usually keep an eye on it during breakfast. And for some reason, it decided to be like almost 10 minutes slow today. It just dropped 10 minutes overnight. How could this happen to me? And then my stove clock is also slow, but it's a different amount of slow. So that wasn't really any help either. You know it's bad when you have to ask the smart speaker what time it is in a room with 2 clocks. Lagnaros, thank you for the 10-month resub. Appreciate it.
They know we're coming now. I hope our allies can keep their main forces occupied long enough for us to complete our mission. Quickly, into the barrels.
I wonder when next raid's gonna be. It's gonna be fun. I'm really looking forward to the next patch. I think this is the most excited I've been for like a mid-expansion patch in a long time. I haven't tested the actual patch content yet, but just from seeing the raid, it looks like it's gonna be all so fun.
Where are you hiding your food, maggot?
Please, you've already taken all the food we have.
Search everywhere. These peasants have been hiding rations from the army. If you're not fighting, you're
For a second, I thought that this guy wasn't wearing pants, but he is. They're just purple pants. His purple character wearing purple pants. This trash used to be so dangerous because you had to be moving when they were casting that avalanche, otherwise it was gonna hit you. And they, at a certain key level, would just one-shot. Or at least it felt that way. Another like 900 badges. I wonder if I'll get enough in the next two. Probably not. You don't get 500 badges a dungeon. One thing I could do is I could use alts. People were telling me last week that you get 200 badges for your first time walking key on an alt, or time walking queue. I might be able to gap fill with that a little bit. After many runs, I finally got my Elegon mount yesterday. Congratulations, Sabrius. It's wonderful. Although, is it really going to kill me if I mean, there's a few mounts I'm missing. There's a lot of things I need time warp badges for. I could wait for it to roll around again. Maybe I'll have more badges by then. And maybe I won't. Who's to say? I would have more if I was using time walking to level alts, but I haven't been really leveling very many alts lately. I've just been playing the character I've got. It's been fun. Haven't needed anything else. I'm hoping I can get my 3-year mount this week. I only need 2 more torrential fragments, which I was going to split across 2 days of farming. Probably not doing any today because I don't think I'm going to have time. And then 2 more thunderous fragments. And then I should be all ready to go. I don't think I realized how horrible Undersea Usurper is. Oh yeah, that one is a real ham sandwich of an achievement. I'm smiling because I'm finished. This is the glee of somebody that has suffered, and it's long enough ago now that the pain is faded, but I still have my shiny crab mount. But yeah, that one it's long and it's in depth. I think it's not as bad as it was though. I think they made it so you don't have to find that little algae guy. Like there's a rare that you don't have to find, or maybe you don't need as many rares or something. Nerf some stuff from it. Yeah, it shouldn't be as bad as it was. Hi Hazel, how was your weekend? Hello. My weekend was good. Nice cozy weekend. Lots of naps, lots of puppy cuddles, some games. Sure, it's worse now because people are trying to get it done. There must be people still out there camping soundless, because there must be other people in the world that have more hope in them than me. Thought I wanted it for the crab and title alone months ago. That was the thing that was the saving grace of me getting the Johnny mount, was having already done Mechadon and Undersea Usurper. I still had plenty to do even with those things, but I think that was what brought it into like kind of feeling reasonable territory for me. Whenever I was there doing it for the meta, Soundless would get one shot. Oh gosh, so you not only have to be paying attention to the spawn, but you would also have to like snipe it. Good grief. In the last in the most recent patch, they added a meta achievement with a mount reward for BFA, and one of the requirements for that meta achievement is Undersea Usurper, and another one is Mechadon. So you've got people freshly working on it now that maybe didn't do it before. Get all the rares while the zone is current. I'm definitely playing zone objectives and achievement-y things a little more earlier than I used to, because now I feel like you never know what's gonna have a meta tagged onto it, and you're right, because some things are just easier to do when you do them along the way. We've been making some soup today since it's been so cold. That sounds good. I bought like a 2-kilogram frozen lasagna to have like a hands-off dinner option for tonight, because it's my night to make dinner, but I know I'm going to be just toast. So at least I had the foresight to plan ahead for my laziness. But 2 kilograms apparently is an enormous lasagna, so there should be leftovers. Kind of looking forward to it. I hope it's not gross, because if it's gross, then we have 2 kilos of not very good lasagna. Hopefully it's okay. Hard to do old rares. Some zones are really not bad for it. BFA zone rares I found were almost always up. But now that they have this newfangled idea in their heads that rares shouldn't just like stay up forever when people aren't there in the zone. I guess it's not completely newfangled. Some things have worked that way for a long time, but I hate it. I still probably... I don't have things from the Zeralik Caverns because of the way they treated those rares. Secondary lasagna is this. Did you think you would just eat a kilogram of lasagna? Not in one sitting, no. I just, I was like, oh yeah, that'll be good. We'll have leftovers. And then I saw the pan. Because I ordered delivered groceries. And I'm like, oh, that's... I'm gonna need to shuffle some room in the freezer, my goodness. I think I've mentioned the 97-cent frozen pizza I got from Walmart. I think 97 cents in coins would taste better. Leftovers for the week. Listen, food that I don't have to mess with right now is the best kind of food. There's rares that require people to help summon in older content still. Gosh, those Maw ones that you had to summon, I feel like good luck getting that done. You need friends, not randoms, but like people that remember or know or can look up how to do it. Because it was one of the rares that dropped something you needed for the hand mount. I don't remember what you needed, but like you needed multiple people to help summon him, and it was not as easy as just like having a couple people around and all clicking on a thing. It was a project. Started a meal prep service this week. Loving it. Nice. Cheap cheese will always punish you. There we go. That's stack number 3. I haven't chosen to do a meal prep sponsorship yet. I might do one day. I'm on the fence about it. I want to do this. I think I'm generally still sitting out most sponsorships until I get my life together. Which might be forever, we'll see. My one's while a lot of people are around still in early Dragonflight. I think my queue is broken. Naren said, X, thank you for the 3-month resub. Appreciate it. Tell us why you wouldn't before you can't contractually. I mean, if I smack talk them too much, they might not want me to do a deal with them. I think they probably have a lot of value for some people. It just seems like one of those services that is maybe... Honestly, and this is kind of a bad thing when you're trying to like advertise online to make a living, a lot of the services and products that advertise online, especially on like YouTube and Twitch and podcasts and stuff, it's not that they're necessarily a bad product, but like, I don't know. What's my problem with it? I guess I'm just not personally connecting with the value for your money. I think that's my problem, is I don't personally see it as worthwhile over just getting groceries and preparing something. But here I am at the same time complaining about preparing things out of groceries, so perhaps I am a good case for it. Recycling all the delivery stuff is a job by itself. Yeah. Yeah, and that's another thing that's not great. Didn't you order a 2-kilo lasagna online? Not wrong. Got me there.
Guardians of the ritual, prepare yourselves. She will not be disappointed.
Greetings, Miss Hazel. Hello! I got it because it gives a new recipe, small enough portions for one meal. Oh. A lot of people doing Legion dungeons for the first time. Uh-oh. Everything's scary. Everything's scary. Big pull. Sometimes we want things just because we want. This is true. I'm guilty of that all the time.
Intruders, they will not get far.
Well healed. Oh, thanks. Shucks. I tend to think myself into a real pit when I'm looking at, like, housing and living situations and I'm weighing them against each other. And whenever I get, like, the conscience thought of, like, how much or little is needed to live and be happy, and how much or little is a human being entitled to? And the answer is, I don't think anyone's entitled to anything, but, like, when you think of, like, you can't think in terms of, do I deserve this? Because that's just a slippery slope. Everybody deserves security. Not everybody's gonna get it. But then once you start looking at, like, things like, I don't know, basically everything beyond, like, a closing door and a roof that hopefully doesn't leak too much, you start getting into this whole thing of, like, is it unethical to pursue this thing? Because do I need it? Am I conditioned to need it? Am I being socially pressured into needing it? Would I be as happy in a smaller place or a less nice place? You know, like, it's impossible to know. And I think I've decided that whole line of thinking of, like, you know, how much does it's nice sometimes to kind of reground yourself. I have aggro. I guess I'm just gonna bring this stuff with me. It's nice to kind of reground yourself if you get, like, too hung up on, like, this one's not perfect, and it's like, well, can you sleep there? Is your life going to work if it has to? But I think the whole thought process of, like, well, am I taking too much and not giving back enough? It's a bit of a dead end because you're never going to figure that out. How much space do I want to clean? Right? We cleaned this weekend and it was great because it took like 20 minutes. How much space do you want to clean and how much space do you want to heat is another thing. But yeah, not so much in terms of, like, floor size and whatever, but, like, you know, privacy and land. I want... Where have we gone? Some people are down this way. Some people are up this way. Maybe those guys will come with me. Live in a society. Yeah, you know, like, how much responsibility do you have towards seeing yourself as part of the solution and not the problem? Which problems are you thinking about? And are you thinking about them because they're relevant, or are you thinking about them because you've just spent a little bit too much time online in a given day? I got all worked up about, or not worked up, but, like, I went down this rabbit hole of reading threads about people that live in small towns that really don't like remote workers because they perceive them as not belonging to the community or like, adhering to the culture, and also because of remote working transplants. There's this perception, true or not, that housing prices have gone up and they're pricing out the people that have lived there their whole lives. So you end up with people that work locally that don't remote work having to move because as the cost of living goes up, those people have to leave, and that blows. But like, can you hold that against the remote worker that moved there because they just wanted a quieter place to live and they wanted to be able to afford their rent? Maybe, maybe not. Do you worry about that when you're said remote worker thinking about moving to a small town? Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. Things to freak yourself out about when you're looking at real estate. I think about stuff because other people put them in my head. Respectfully way overthinking this. I mean, sometimes I just kind of like to voice my train of thought because otherwise I won't have anything to say on stream. If you're gonna get up and you're gonna make noise for 3 hours a day, 5 days a week, you're gonna say some things that don't necessarily need answers just because you're making conversation. Real estate is scary. Did anyone else have WoW lock up like an odd DC? People were saying that the game was dying last night. It was getting DDoSed, or it was something wrong with the servers. I'm apparently really lucky because I logged on like right after they fixed it. It seems to be going just fine now. I haven't had any problems looting anything. Gave up, did a puzzle last night. What kind of puzzle? 500 pieces? 1,000 pieces? 2,000 pieces? 1,000 pieces is about where I meet my match with puzzles. But I'm hoping maybe one day when I have more space to spread them out. I have a puzzle that I want to do that I haven't even opened because I know I don't have the room to do it right now. So it's like waiting in a cupboard for me to move. Policy fault, not your fault. This is very, very bad. This is not going very well. I should have popped those cooldowns way earlier. I wasn't really thinking. Puzzle room. My greatest investment was a Lego room. 1,000 winter seed, long-term effort. That sounds pretty. Yeah, it was just an interesting point of view to read when I was looking into this, the remote worker thing, because my initial thought was kind of naive. It was like, wouldn't that be great for your community that you have somebody moving there, paying taxes there, paying for services and businesses and whatnot, like hopefully using like local services and businesses and stores and whatever, with money that's being kind of sourced from bigger places in the world remotely. Like, you'd think that would kind of infuse a little bit of life in the local economy, but I guess not if it's going to drive all the prices up so that nobody can live there anymore. Maybe complex issue. I'm scared of crab. Oh, someone else. Someone else crab. Yeah, WoW seems to be working good now. Mediocrity Squared, thank you for the 32-month resub. I think also part of it is maybe people, just like a little bit of culture shock. It might take a while for somebody who is a new transplant to an area that doesn't have community connections to make themselves at home in that community, if that's something they want to do. Not everybody wants to talk with your neighbors. I used to be the kind of person that wanted to just like keep to myself and avoid eye contact and be an absolute ghost in whatever place I lived. But the more that I've gotten to know my neighbors, the more I've kind of come to appreciate being more socially connected in my community. Just like, even just casually, you know, like I don't really, outside of stream, I don't really live a life where I get to make small talk with acquaintances otherwise. So being able to just kind of like talk about the weather or like, I don't know, things happening on local streets or events or whatever with people while I'm walking the dog is really important to me. Having spent 20 years in a small town, can tell you that they don't fit our culture as code for they don't vote the way we like. Yeah, that could be a thing too. I think this probably won't be a problem for me unless I move to a really, really small place, which is probably not going to happen. Could happen. Probably not. We'll see. I want to move this year, though. I don't know if I'll make it happen, but I want to do it. Weather, am I right? For sure. Good talk. Kinda, yeah. You know what I like, though? Is whenever I stop to make small talk with my neighbors, as often as it is about the weather, almost everybody finds something nice to say about the weather. And when it's the most awful, sleet, blustery, pouring wet day where you can't possibly think of a compliment for the weather aside from this'll do good for the water table, you know, people still, you know, they're still in good humor about it. Like I don't think I've ever really chatted with somebody, I guess maybe the crabby people just keep walking, but I don't think I've ever stopped and chatted with somebody that was like crabby about it at all. They're always like, oh man, a little nice sunshine we're getting, or, you know, a little bit wet out there, eh? You know, like it's nice. Plus, my dog is always happy to be outside, and I really absorb that energy, you know, like, regardless of what the weather is. I might have to wear a few more coats than he does, but he is always happy to be out there. Lived in our place 2.5 years now, don't know a single neighbor. Neebus would end up making me more social. He, in particular, like, more than other dogs, I think, he is so, he'll see two people having a conversation on the sidewalk, and he'll stop and like look at them and be like, what are we talking about? You know, like he will insert you into social situations that you don't necessarily belong in. And I am able to kind of like move him along when it's like obviously not happening, but he has for sure introduced me to all kinds of people because Moose will stop and be like, hello, you look like you want to meet Moose. What are we doing over here? Yeah, time walking seems fixed. Working good. What a lovely pupper. He really is. Oh. The problem is that if he gets it in his head that he wants to meet a person or a dog, and it's not appropriate for him to do so, and he's feeling stubborn, it is a project to get him moving if he doesn't want to. Especially if it's a dog that he wants to meet that also wants to meet him, but the person doesn't want to stop, or like it's just not appropriate for whatever reason. He is quite sure that he knows best. He's like, no, we should say hi. And it's like, no, bud. It's not. It's 11 at night. You're a big dog. They're a little nervous. We're just gonna not do that. And he's like, but I think they want to meet Moose. Sits his butt down. At least he doesn't do the thing that some huskies do, where they will full like flop sideways on the ground, all feet splayed out in like a protest. Armpits vet lift. I cannot lift my dog on my own. I can lift half of my dog on my own. I can pick up his front half and kind of walk him along, and I've done that before, but he's too big for me to safely lift. I feel bad when someone's doggo wants to meet me. I want to meet you too, buddy, but you gotta go. That's the other best thing about meeting a bunch of neighbors in this area and like chatting with them and stuff is that I've got to meet their dogs, and like meeting their dogs repeatedly puts me in a position where their dogs like know me and they'll get excited to see me and they'll get all mushy and cute and lovey and like they'll come visit with me and stuff. They're all my favorite. I love them all. I have a couple dog friends that really like me, and I bribe them too. Like I'll ask the owner if the dog can have a treat. Like I'll say, you know, is it all right if I give so and so a piece of beef liver? And they usually say yes. You know, situations notwithstanding, and then I will, and then forever on, you're like the nice trick or treat lady to that dog. Works great. Too heavy, unwieldy, both. I would say both. He is heavy, he's a little unwieldy, but he also is he doesn't like being picked up. Maybe because he doesn't trust that I got it, which is fair. So he will also, if I try to lift him, he will sometimes like yelp. Why do I keep rezzing? I mean to leave this dungeon. Which makes everybody very upset. Neighbors have a pit bull puppy who loves meeting people, but she's too big to meet people the way she wants to. Aww. Oh, one of my friends is a pity. Also, the people that walk him are very nice too. But he's like... I love dogs, man. I also love cats. I'm lucky that I get to meet cats, although not as much since I started walking a dog. Alright, I got my buff. I got my mastery of the time ways. Let me check. Turbulent time ways. Yeah, we're 3 of 5 for the Busby, so that's coming along just fine. Sweetest baby, but she loves jumping on people. Yeah. That's tough. It's a tough one for them to grow out of too. I still have to correct Moose on that once in a blue moon. Okay. I have about 25 minutes left. What do I want to do? Do I want to do molten core? Do I want to do torrential fragment farming? Do I want to do my profession weeklies like some kind of sucker? Once in a blue moose. Grow up with Bouviers. Know how to brace myself for the running hug. Yeah, it's because of raid testing. But this will be the last one for a while. Perfect amount of time to make another hunter alt, right? Let's have a little molten core run through. I don't want to start torrential fragment farming because I do not want to. Ooh, actually, maybe I can. Do I have the screenshot still? Maybe I can make. Yeah, my molten core crafted gear shopping list. I took a little screen grab of the here, I'll show you. Of the items that I still need from molten core. You know what? I'm gonna go into molten core and I'll take a new one so I can get an updated version of this because I think I got these 3. Hang on. Dark black dragon's mill boots. Oh, this one actually did get made. That's what was going wrong. I'm gonna see if I'm gonna see if those boots are still on sale. They were up a couple days ago. They might not be up now. Track. Can you even make a Drakthir hunter? Crunch. You can now? Oh. I see. I see. I also kind of want to show you my mess of a factory. Maybe in the last like 5 minutes, 10 minutes or something. Black dragon scale boots, I think, is what I was looking. We're not making another hunter. We're just memeing. We're just joking.
Of the horde, the Dragon Isles have awakened, and meet me in Orgrimmar.
So this character, yeah. So Volpera, you don't even need to port anywhere. You can just get on your. So I'm gonna get on my Trader's Guild as a Brutosaur. I don't have the gold yet. I just want to take a look at. Yes, that's exactly what I wanted. So I need 500 gold. on a live stream. It's a little short one today, but excited to be here. I'll be back for a longer one tomorrow. And I am gonna get this smog out of Molten Core. I'm gonna. Okay. So that gets warbound. That works good. Let's do a little run of Molten Core real quick. Hunters are always my first choice for new game modes since they have their own tank. Oh, those are the 3 things that I tried to make for Surmar that weren't being created. That's funny. They eventually came through. The world quest where you pick up the plushies in the Dalaran ruins is sad. Okay. Also, I haven't looked at my emissaries in a little while. I'm sure there's stuff that I could do. Actually, no, I don't need any of this. Alright. Molten Core, ahoy. Avast. Man, I'm getting mullety again. I was trying to put my head down to work on my headstand this morning in yoga, and I could feel that I had a little poofy cushioned halo of hair that I had to smoosh down before I could get there. Man, there's so much transmog from World Quest that World Quest thing is showing me about. Although some of these are like fully expired. The Black Bee is from the BFA zone metas. I'm on island time. It's part of the overall BFA meta. It's called the Honeyback Hive Mother. Look like Pixie, very cute. Let's check. If they ever destroy Stormwind, we'll probably legit cry. I only cried once in all of WoW. I mean, I know Deathwing kind of torched it pretty good. Maybe this is naive of me, but I feel like Stormwind and Org specifically have plot armor. Just by being like the main original faction capitals. But again, naive. Maybe I'm jinxing it. Okay, so we're at 86.5% of all things for all armor types collected from here. It looks like I do need another handful of crafted items. I'm gonna take a fresh screenshot here. Things to check the auction house for on other servers whenever possible. Molten Core crafted shopping list, just replace that one. Because a lot of those zone drop things are just showing me what I could make with lava cores. Nice to see more cities get updated. Maybe that'll happen as they add player housing to places. If they add player housing and they let you pick a capital city, but it has to be like a capital city, like a race capital. Where are you moving? And where am I moving? I guess I'm gonna say Borealis. I mean, Borealis is a race capital, so it would count. So I would probably pick that one. But if we're thinking like TBC and older race capitals, so you know, like the original cities, and then like Silver Moon and the Exodar. Hello for another Islander. Hello. Happy Wednesday. Hope you're keeping warm. Silver Moon for sure. Ironforge. I lived in Ironforge in Hardcore Classic, and it bums me out because it's so underground. I would not make a good dwarf. I need to see this, the light of the sky. Okay, we've got Lucifron and Magmadar. Lucifron could give me 2 things. Magmadar could give me 1 thing. No luck from that one. Exeter will be my own private island. I think Exeter is beautiful. It does feel empty though, but that makes sense for like what it is. Silver Moon always felt a little more dense. No luck from there. If we're confined to main cities, Ironforge for sure, but I hope we can have housing. Not a, oh, character housing and not a single shared one, because I've got too many RP characters of all races. I would like an option to use a shared house or an individual character house, because I want to use a shared house, but I don't want that to take away character houses for other people. Okay. What can we get from Gehennis? 2 items that he could give us. So many facets gleaming. When I think of like the old Draenei cities, Exeter and then Shatrath, I think just like really big open spaces with not a lot in them. Just like these big stone floors and like arches over them. No luck there. Gar could give me a helmet. He could also give me bindings. I have them on another character, but maybe I'll get him on this one too. I wonder how many characters with 1 binding I'll get before I get 2 bindings in 1 character. Nope. Nothing there. So Baron Geddon's got 1 item, plus a binding. And then Shazra's got 3. I want to live in an Arakoa village. Do not miss binding farming. If I did make one of these legendaries, either Thunder Fury or Sulphurous, it would be my first crafted legendary, I think. You know, that wasn't like a gimme legendary. No luck. I haven't got any new appearances just yet. Sulphur and Harbinger doesn't even have anything for me, but that's okay. Ideally, want a house in Northrend. What if it's accessed through a separate, like, login screen like Plunderstorm and it's not actually connected to anything on the map at all? Do we hate that? If I want to pick any alliance or horde zone, I know exactly where I would go. That would be great. I hate that. I would not initially like it, but if it gave us more options, like if it let them add like a ton more options for how people could customize their place so it could look like it's in, you know, Tiragard Sound or Northrend or an Arakoa village or like all these different places without them having to actually like add the tech to each of those zones, I think that would be cool. Some form of zone clustering where you can see other houses. That was always my favorite thing about player housing. That would surprise me greatly. I could see them having like a skin or like a, you know, like a background for it. Got both bindings on a priest, which was useless. If I get both bindings on a priest now, can I still do it? Now that they've made these changes? Nothing there. How cross-faction the game is would be cool if housing made faction choice meaningful in terms of where your house can be located. Maybe? There's a lot of people that played Horde for lots of reasons that really didn't like being forced into the Horde garrison, though. I don't think they would want to repeat that. Would like to know that. Well, if it happens for me in the course of all this transmog farming, I'll let you know.
Reckless mortals, unleashing the sun and the living flame. Impossible. Stay your
And then we go try Ragnaros.
I suppose
Pretty much just for
rashly.
Eye of Sulphurus or the Flame Tongue enchant. I also don't know if that can even drop if you're not a shaman, or like if you can learn it if you're not a shaman. I know that if it was an armor piece you would, but I don't know if the weapon illusions work. Guess we'll find out. Garrisons were fun to build, no sense of community. I liked inviting other people to my garrison, and vice versa. Seeing what other people had done with theirs. I visited with my friends a fair bit in WoD. But yeah, if you weren't doing that, it just felt very lonely. Very isolated. Orgrimmar needs a better magic district. Warlock Cave, pretty boring. Did they just shove mages down there now that they've got mages? What were the bad things about garrisons? I mean, different people will have different issues. A big problem a lot of people had was that it was so powerful from a gameplay perspective in terms of being able to put like a bank and an auction house there, being able to collect all of your herbs and your ore there, even if you weren't an herbalist or a miner. And like having all of these chores that kind of came from this solo instance is that it kind of became a lobby that you would be in isolated from other players that you didn't have a ton of reason to get out of. Part of that was garrisons being too valuable, and part of that was the expansion itself didn't have a lot of reason to get you out into the world after the first patch, really. Like, you had Apexis Crystal dailies, you had a few chores to do in Tanan Jungle, but this was before World Quests, this was before Mythic Plus, so it became like a queuing lobby for a lot of people, and that was really boring. They also weren't as customizable as people wanted them to be. Originally, people wanted to be able to put them in different zones, and there was only so many things you could do to decorate them. It was more of a like a chore hub than it was like a private self-expression thing. Like, you could put up, like, you know, faction decorations, but it was going to be the same, more or less the same garrison. Don't smack talk the selfie patch. Listen, the selfie patch was an important benchmark for us to measure all other patches against whenever we feel ourselves getting crabby about not enough content. I think that was when they decided they needed to have distinctions between full patches and minor patches. If we can't have our battle pets hanging out on the couch, I will be very mad. Can I have my cat pets, like, scratch up the furniture?
These mortal infidels, my lord. They have invaded your sanctum and seek to steal your secrets. Allow these insects to run rampant.
I'm gonna have a house in Undercity or Brill for my Belf DK.
Lead them to my very lair. You have failed to protect us. Justice shall be met.
3, 2, 1.
I would be very surprised if WoW chose to do limited supply housing, because that would be just a bananas thing for them to do. I still can't believe it flies in other games. I don't even think it does. I never got housing in 14 because I looked at the process and I went, nope. No thank you. Not for me. Alright, so that's sorted. I have 7 or so minutes left. I could probably buy another piece of crafted mog to kind of get this. Oh, I didn't realize I was on monitor cap. to get this transmog list sorted. So I want to look for specifically, what's my next thing that I'm shopping for? I'm looking for core hound boots. Which, oh yeah, there they are. So they're 9k in my realm, but there is a realm that has them for 800 gold. It is Greymane of all places. Looks like there's some supply. So I want to make a Volpera on Greymane and pick up 800 gold. Might be better to do this in stages so I'm not making a ton of alts so fast. Greymane, okay. This is undermine.exchange is the website I'm using for this. Guild Hall would be awesome. Hanging out as guildies go in and out doing things. I like seeing guildies just kind of walk by like in town. I get that kind of feel from just being in like a capital city.
Meet me in Orgrimmar, where I am about to.
So 800 gold. Just the one pair. All for me. Thank you. And added to my appearance collection. The Sulfuron hammer, that's not going to be like a thing I buy, I don't think. I think that's oh no, it is. It is, because it's like a crafted thing, but I'm going to worry about that later, because I think that's also going to be part of getting sulfurous, question mark. Also, they're extremely expensive. The cheapest they are is like 22k, so we'll come back on that. What about a dark iron bracer? How expensive can that possibly be? Vary on my realm. 68k on my realm, which is highway robbery, but 460 gold if I go to that realm. Okay. So we're going to log out here. See if I have an ult in that realm already. No. I don't think I'm going to need Greymane again. Let's delete that one. This is for dark iron bracers, and I'm going to need about 460 gold. Want different setups, looking forward to multiple grouping options. Could you not show people how to do this? I don't need more competition.
Meet me in Orgrimmar, where I am about.
Listen. People are... The secret's gonna get out. They're gonna find out. Now that you can just do it on your own with the Warbank, I feel like anybody should be. Plus, it makes it so that if I want to post a random piece of mog cheap on my server, maybe somebody will come buy it from cross server and get rid of it for me. So I don't have to just vendor all of this garbage that I don't want to try to sell for cost. Yeah. That is a deal. 460 gold, thank you very much. Super nice, you don't even have to worry about what, like, price. That probably would have been a good flip, actually. I don't know what those are made out of, but market value average being about 50k for them. Dark iron bracers. Do I have time to do one more? No, I should leave it alone. Longboy continues to pay for itself. Yeah, look, I just saved 50,000 gold, right? Puppy. Where's my puppy? He's not here right now. I think he's asleep in the other room. Look at all these alts that are not not my characters. I gotta go. I gotta wrap up for the day. It's very short, I know. I will be back tomorrow for a brand new full-length Thursday stream. I want to do more molten core farming. I want to get my penultimate torrential fragment. Maybe I'll go crazy and decide to get the last torrential fragment. Appreciate you guys, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye.